Hey guys, so I just got back from the gym. Um, but last night I had a call with one of the students inside of my mentorship program. So when she started the program, she was already about like $4,000 per month. And she started about a week and a half ago. So I think it's about 10 days inside the program. So when she joined, she had a couple different problems. Number one, she wanted to go and like grow revenue because she had been trying to grow her business for I think it was like 2 or 3 different years, and it took her a long time to be able to build up her business. So first things first, we had to really enhance her pricing. Next thing we had to do is make sure she understood how to go and get like really good leads, even though her schedule was very busy. So she was running her business full time, but she had like a lot of clients that were like very, very small. So even though she was making, like 4 grand a month, she was working, a lot of hours on the client work. Then the next thing was really making sure that as she kept getting more and more clients, she would be able to actually handle the work by subcontracting out to other people. So she joined the program. We ended up getting like a really big client a lot faster than what she expected, right? So sometimes what happens is like people will join my program, they'll try some of the stuff that we talk about, but it's like they're surprised when it works. And like I don't blame them. Oftentimes like people have either like tried so many different things in the past, or maybe like there's so many different things that could work that maybe they could even be like overwhelmed, right? So when something I give them is very simple and it works, a lot of people, don't, or a lot of people are not really ready for. It's not that they're not ready. A lot of people are just surprised when things work, right? But it's like if you're gonna invest in a program, do the stuff that we talk about. You're gonna get results. So it's just like you got to be ready for the results. So it just so happened that we had to kind of talk about team and really like building out some subcontracting lists very quickly, and we kind of go over that in the video. So without further ado, I'd love to see you inside of this behind the scenes coaching call. Talk to you soon. I'll see you inside. Also, if you want some help growing your business, go ahead and click the link inside the description. Book a call with myself or a member of my team. See if we can help you inside the program just like we helped out Diane.
And he said, between paying attorneys and paying the forensic accountant, paying me, like, he doesn't want to broke on all this stuff. And he just said, he asked me, I did an analysis of how much I felt like it was going to cost for the cleanup and the reconciliations. And that one, I came up to be about $5,000 on
Okay.
that. But then he said, I want you to be on a monthly basis until we can get this transferred to the responsibility transferred to, a new accountant until he gets somebody hired on. So that's going to be 1,500 a month, um,
Okay.
in addition to that. So, yeah,
Kind of what
I'm
we plan
just,
for though, right? I mean, we plan for you're gonna maybe get like one or two more clients to get the because at first we were talking about $500 per month clients, like three to get 1,500, and then while during tax season we're gonna kind of like slow down. So I mean,
yeah, I didn't want to pick up a $6,500 client. I think that's what kind of just completely threw me.
uh,
So there's two pieces to this whole thing right now, Bryce. One is bringing somebody on. Honestly, I can't. I mean, at least until the beginning of March, I don't know
mhm,
that I can take anybody on, rightfully so, because I have to service my existing clients, right?
mhm.
But there's the other shift side of it, though. I need to start hiring some people
Okay,
to start taking some of that, so then I can start taking more on.
yeah.
The so I wanted to get, one of the purposes of this call today was, is there a process to getting people hired and getting them trained and up to speed that isn't going to suck the life out of me right now?
Yeah, so I mean, we can definitely, if you want, have them start doing some calls with like my controller. So first things first, we would like talk about like what is your job posting looking like. Then what we would do is probably go inside of like the student community, looking for people who match kind of that experience and kind of want to do a certain thing. From there, we would probably have you either interview them, or if they come from our community, like we can generally give them like assessments before they even like meet up with you. And then from there, you
Right,
can like choose kind of a based on a personality fit. Um, if we do it from inside of like the other students of the program, they should have accounting back. Like that's going to be their day jobs. Like we one of the requirements we
right,
do. That we won't really need to train them from scratch as much. Um, if you wanted to go more of a route where you pull someone who doesn't have as much experience, we could definitely have them come and like maybe we like train them like once a week on like your processes and your procedures. Um,
right.
But historically, what it's looked like is since the students have had like accounting experience, like for their day job, like they don't
Uh-huh.
necessarily need to be trained as much.
Okay. I have to go with the least painful method,
Okay.
mainly because
Yeah.
I'm out of time right
Yeah.
now. And
Okay.
if the faster that I get them up and running, the faster I
Mm,
can take on more clients. Because the way I look
yeah.
at this right now, I can't take anything else on until at least March 1st.
Mm.
And
Um,
once I get to March 1st, I'm going to hit another point if I take somebody else on that I can't take the next person till April
yeah.
1st. Well, then the following month is even better because all of the tax stuff drops off, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll be in a
Um,
position to take on two, three. So if I position myself correctly, um,
yeah. If you
I just
needed,
want to put this in high speed growth, if you will. And if
yeah,
it
I
means
mean,
me hiring people, I'm fine.
if you needed someone that had like that needed no training, I could probably connect with like three students. Do you also want them to be able to do taxes as well, or just the bookkeeping side?
I really just want to stay on the accounting bookkeeping side.
But okay, so you don't want to outsource any of your tax stuff that you already have. You just
No,
want them to do
no.
bookkeeping.
I'll keep all
Okay.
the tax stuff in house. Honestly, it's about 10 to 12 tax returns.
Okay. That's good then. How I guess do you want to pay them like a flat rate, or do you want to pay them like hourly, or what would you kind of look like as far as like a pay
How
scale for this?
how much do you think this usually runs?
I would ideally try and do between probably between like 30 to 50% or whatever you're saving per client would be kind of a fair amount.
Okay.
Um, so ideally what I like to think of is like if I'm going to be basically having, let's say it's $10,000 per month I have worth of revenue, and I'm basically it averages out to about $100 per hour. I'd want to at max pay them like $50 per hour. So I'd be shooting for more of like 30, 35, maybe 40 per
Okay.
hour if you can.
That should get me somebody decent.
Yeah. I mean that should get you somebody good. So when you're subcontracting the work, like if you the lower the hourly amount that you want to pay someone, the greater the volume of work should be. So like for example, it might look terrible if you're paying someone like $25 per hour, but if they're starting a business and you give them like $1,200 per month, you're probably their biggest client.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like you have to kind of frame the way they kind of feel about the hourly price, but do it like either as a flat rate or kind of like say, well, yeah, it might be a small hourly, but there's gonna be more products in the future, so I'm growing. And it's, if you're making two, $3,000 per month, that's certainly gonna be worth it for your time.
Right. Right.
Yeah, probably. Um, yeah, I could probably list off like two, three, probably three guys off the top of my head. Really. So let's say that I was gonna give you or recommend someone that needs no training. Let's say it's like oops, so I would say Millie actually subcontracts with another student in the program. But she has a background in both tax planning as well as bookkeeping and accounting. So she's a
Okay.
pretty good well-rounded kind of nature.
Okay.
Um, who's another person that would be good? I'm just thinking like in terms of like least training needed. Um,
I passed on some QBD business to somebody last week in the group.
oh, nice. Who'd you pass off to?
It was Anna Jean.
Diana. Anna Jean, yeah, she's actually pretty good for subcontracting too. Diana, she does this full time. Yeah, she's actually pretty good. She has some subcontract work. I can give you a list of the names actually as we're kind of talking.
Yeah, and this seems like the most reliable and also the most reliable, and the, you know, trying to get from point A to point B with the least amount of pain.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like being very selective with like who I'm talking to, because like we need to get someone that has like some really good experience like really quickly, and that way you don't have to feel like you're training them. I don't necessarily want you to train someone. I just want them to kind of like fit in. Like you might have to like kind of talk about how you like things done, because you might like things done just slightly differently than what they do. But I don't want people like who have no experience that you have to kind of like pull along. Like if it was a different
Hold, yeah,
circumstance
hold
where
their
you had
hand.
time,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. If you had more
but I don't have
time, I'd
time
say
for that
something
right now.
different. Yeah, exactly. Stana, Control C. I'm going to be attaching their Facebook profile as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, Anna Jean's actually pretty good. Um, yeah, she's actually subcontracted for another number of students inside the program.
Well, maybe I
Um,
should call her about this one too, this other stuff too.
yeah, just yeah, personality wise, you guys might get along too. Really, yeah, I've known Anna Jean for a long time. Um,
Yeah, I just had somebody contact me um, through the QuickBooks Pro advisor, and
uh,
she was in desperate need of QBD help, and I said, I am not your best resource for that. So she said, "Who do you know?" And I said, "Let me see what I can find for you." So I threw a message out on your page, and Anna
uh,
Jean responded.
um, another. Do you prefer man, women? Don't really care.
I don't care.
Okay. I'm thinking personality wise, who would get along with you. So we want someone that has confidence too. That's another thing. Confidence can be important. Um, I also need someone that's gonna be there. Hmm, she's Canada. She, I was gonna talk about Andrew, but Andrew might be overloaded. Oh, actually, if you need someone with with churches, Chris Buckner might not be back. That's his main niche is churches.
You've given me 4 names already. I mean,
Yeah,
theoretically, if I just connect with one of them, it
yeah.
should work.
Yeah, I'm just giving you options just in case, like, because like
Sure.
really it's gonna come down more of like a personality fit. Um, I don't know if John will be a great personality fit, just kind of just based on you two's personality. Stephanie, no. Chris Buckner. Actually, Millie might not be back because Millie does this full time too. Um, Eric might not be bad. What part of the country do you live in again?
I'm outside of Denver.
Denver, Colorado. Okay. Um, that might work because Millie's in Wyoming. So it's not super far. We talked about Anna Jean Shields, Diana. Okay. This plus two with these guys too, you can tell them it's just temporary until after like tax season. That you could potentially keep working with them, or in some cases like you might just take all the clients back under your roof, and like they wouldn't that wouldn't like make them upset. You know what I mean? So you don't have to
Right.
worry about them being like, oh, well, I need the money, I need the job, kind of thing. Um, First choice. Um,
Sounds like Millie would probably be the best first choice, right?
yeah, I'm also thinking like how they communicate. Like Anna Jean generally has a lot more words. Millie is more of like, you ask a question, you get a direct answer. So you might even your communication will be like very concise. Same thing with Diana. Yeah, so that'd be like my list if I had to choose in terms of like from strongest to weakness. Um, John, he might be okay, but he's kind of like he's like really young, kind of more of like I don't know. It wouldn't be a personality match just based on the way like he communicates. Eric
Okay.
Sue might be really skilled, but he kind of has like imposter syndrome to a certain degree. So he's a CPA like really highly in corporate America, but he's good at bookkeeping. He just like kind of feels nervous around bookkeeping stuff for some reason. So that's the one thing. So that's why like he's skilled, but he might like need like emotional support. Um, and
Time
I
for
was
your
thinking,
therapist, Bryce.
no, it's like you can do it. You're doing a good job. It's just like Chris Buckner. I'm only saying him because he specializes in churches.
Right.
So I know you have that big church client now too. But yeah, definitely these guys. Cool.
Okay. Well, that's
That was
something to work with at least for sure.
yeah, and then I mean that kind of like we talked about, right? We talked about we're gonna be like subcontracting faster so we can keep expanding. So I mean it's all actually going exactly like how we talked about when we were first speaking. So
Sort of,
um
kind of. I didn't expect this big thing to happen, but you adapt, right? You just pivot and make it work.
I don't know what to tell you. It's like don't invest in something and not expect to like one thing people don't understand, right? There's like certain I don't know if you believe in God or whatnot, right? There's a certain level of like response you get when you act in faith. You know what I mean?
I'm a big faith person. Huge.
Yeah, so it's like, don't pray, don't do stuff, if you're not gonna believe that it's gonna come true. Okay. Yeah, because I remember like even you making an investment in this program was kind of was hard, right? So it's like you're
Yes,
willing for the
you
hard
know
stuff.
what? I felt like, at that point in time, I felt pulled to it, to the whole thing, to the whole idea, and then talking to you just like reinforced everything with me that I just was like, I'm doing this. I'm going.
Yeah,
It at some point in time you just got to do it. So I've hit this point, but it's like this whole balancing thing that I'm doing with the tax and then this
yeah,
major project. I've got to figure out by the end of this week how to make all of this work and then start reaching out to these folks and working them into my schedule
yeah.
to make
Okay.
it work. And if they take enough off of my plate, especially at a month end, um,
Yeah,
then that much faster I could pick up another client.
yeah. I would definitely call them. Oh, I should probably give you their phone numbers. Let me give you their phone numbers.
I have Anna Jean's.
Okay. Yeah,
I've already
definitely.
spoken with her.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're when you spoke to her, did you kind of like did you like the conversation? Like did you guys get along personality wise?
So she was just telling me she was doing a sales job to me of
Uh-huh.
what she could do for this client.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't anybody that I have any vested interest in because she came to me for, QuickBooks desktop stuff. And I told her I don't do that. And so she
Yeah.
said, find me somebody. So I just kind of listened to her and she sounded good. And I trusted because she was part of your group that
Yeah.
it would work. And I haven't heard anything from that other lady yet. So I'm assuming that everything is working well.
Good, good. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I mean Anna Jean is very she's a very consistent personality, so that's one thing that you will, work well with. Um You have Energene's number and everything. Okay, so
Hmm.
that's good there. And then yeah, so on the sheet I just gave you,
Hmm.
at least for Millie and for Diana, I gave you their phone number as well as their email. Millie's really responsive via text message. I also gave you their Facebook account as well. So I just emailed you this, or I'm in the process of emailing you. Um, the list of subcontractors we just spoke about.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. So let's go. So good job. So good size cleanup and $1,500 a month. Hopefully, what's going to happen is like they're just going to keep you on indefinitely, and then yeah,
I like 1,500 a month.
yeah. It's a cool number, isn't it? It's like it's it's a good enough number to where like it's recurring and it like helps out most people's like bills and their mortgage. But it's not so high that you don't feel bad letting it go. When you start moving to a certain degree. So that's the one thing about that price point I like.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Okay,
All right, cool.
perfect. All right.
Awesome. So
Well,
let
I
me know
think
how that
that should
goes.
get me going, and then I'm still working with that other list. So tacking that other list should help, and then the next phase after, especially after I get some people hired on and working with
Yeah.
me, is to start go out and get those partnerships going.
Yeah, I mean, if you want as well, instead of you having to put the list together, if you can just like let me know like where are all the different lists being stored, I can maybe have a VA go through and assemble all that for you. It just kind of depends. I know you said you had some from the QuickBooks directory, some from here, some from here, some here. So, I would even see if you can have your marketing lady assemble that list for you.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
don't don't try and do that all yourself. Because I mean you're really busy right now. Um, yeah, okay, cool. Um, so that's good there. Okay, cool. Yeah. So don't so just like this week, just focus on onboarding this new potential helper. Let's make sure the church people are happy, and then let's just make this just more of like a maintenance week of like what you already have and just prepping so we can build our capacity.
Okay. Okay. Well, this week actually, I'm going to be focusing on the church because I've got to get some stuff to the forensic accountant before the end of the week.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
the the assistant work could get pushed out just a little bit farther, maybe towards the end of the week to early
Okay.
next week.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's just all I'm saying is like I wouldn't if you can't get anything done marketing and assembling your marketing list, like don't feel bad this week.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
got it.
Cool, cool. Okay. Well, I will send you some more text messages this week. I just sent you that stuff via email. So, yep, let's keep moving, okay? Good job.
Sounds great. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for your help, Bryce.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.
Bye.